later, Jimmy Fallon welcomes Rosie O'Donnell, NBC Tonight.
This man is preaching hate. He is going to act on it today.
Hundreds of people are going to die.
Shut down every block and find them. Go, go, go!
Who is this guy?
One of the most prolific mass murderers in American history.
He's trying to take revenge on the world.
What are we walking into?
I'm in.
And that breaking news right now is from Alhambra, where deputies have taken a suspect into custody after a short pursuit and an hour-long standoff. Deputies say the car he was driving came back as stolen in a carjacking. When they tried to pull him over on the 10 freeway, he led them on a chase. He eventually pulled over and ran into a home. Police locked down the entire neighborhood on Garvey and Carlos streets. The suspect eventually came out and was arrested. Later, deputies figured out he was actually hiding in his own house. We're also following more breaking news, this time in Seal Beach, and that's where high tide flooded a parking lot, leaving a lot of cars stranded there. You can see some of the water is just about ankle deep in some places. One homeowner out there told us the water came all the way up to her front door. The city council member who represents this district came out to make sure everyone was okay.
We had a somewhat freakish high tide, and so we've taken on some water. Fortunately, it doesn't appear that there's been any damage to any homes. Just there'll be water on our boardwalk and water in the parking lot.
Crews are out there tonight pumping out some of that water and sand. They will be out there once again tomorrow as well to finish the cleanup. An alarming story out of Moreno Valley tonight. Deputies say a man locked two women inside his home and then tortured them. They were finally able to get out, thanks in part to a 911 call from neighbors and the suspect himself. NBC4's Darsha Phillips joins us live from Riverside, where that man is now in custody. Darsha.
Yeah, Colleen, the details of this case incredibly disturbing. Now, the arresting information here at the Riverside County Detention Center says Gilberto Pugo was booked on a number of charges, including false imprisonment and torture using a taser or stun gun. Now, here's a look at our suspect, 53-year-old Gilberto Pugo. He is a convicted felon, and on Sunday, Pugo called 911 saying two women had burglarized his home. At the same time that call came in, a neighbor called 911 saying he was hearing women screaming for help, and those screams were coming from Pugo's home. Now, when deputies arrived, they found two women outside of Pugo's home. Pugo took off in his SUV. Now, after interviewing the two women and investigating further, the deputies pieced together a pretty horrific story.
The two women were held against their will at the residence. There was a reporting party who called 911 and said that he had heard two women yelling from inside that residence asking for help. When deputies arrived at the residence, the two females were actually already outside of the residence. And after they conducted their investigation, they determined that these two women had been locked inside the residence, held against their will, and tortured.
Now, Pugo was arrested on Monday in Hemet and again faces a litany of charges, including false imprisonment and torture using a taser. Now, there are still many questions. Deputies not giving out any information on the victims, how they ended up at Pugo's home, or how long they were held captive. Now, we did try to speak to several people who live in Pugo's neighborhood, but no one wanted to speak on camera. Now, Riverside County sheriffs believe that Pugo may have done this to other women, and they are asking anyone with any information on Pugo to come forward. Reporting live tonight from Riverside, I'm Darsha Phillips, NBC4 News.
A fight at Dodger Stadium appears to leave one man unconscious, and tonight police are using the video you're about to see in their investigation.
Never mind.
That fight broke out among a group of fans at around 10:15 last night outside the center field entrance. At one point, the man in the white shirt charged the man in the black jersey. As you can see, he was knocked to the ground here. The LAPD tells us officers did respond, but they couldn't find